Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you, and welcome to Islam 101. My name is Jude Shafiq, Jude like the song Hey Jude, and I will be sharing with you information that I have learned through the years from research, academic learning, and so on. What we will be doing in this course is we will be looking at Islam through a bird's eye view. We will be looking at the general terrain of Islamic knowledge. Looking through a bird's eye view helps us to draw the frame for the different disciplines that go under the Islamic knowledge. And something else that it will help us to do is find the connections or establish the connections between these different disciplines. And we will see how development in one area has led to the establishment or development in another area or another discipline. This will help us have more a holistic look at Islam. And then if we want to have more information, then we can dig deeper, knowing which subjects we want to continue learning about. And this is what I'm hoping to do by establishing Islam 201, which will go into details in certain subjects. So if you have any subjects that you would like to read more or know more about, please write that in the comments section, and I will see if I have not already added them under the subheadings of Islam 101, then I will look into putting them into more depth in Islam 201. So I have mapped the general Islamic terrain under major headings, 6 in total, and an introduction. And of course we have subheadings under each one of these 6 headings. And so the introduction is basically going to be the W's of Islam, the what, why, who, and so on, which I will follow up with the second series that draws the historical frame, starting from pre-Islamic times going to contemporary times, basically touching the surface. Of course, I cannot go into details for each period. Then we'll look at the sources of Islamic knowledge. Where do Muslims get their Islamic knowledge? Are there specific sacred sources for Muslims? And what is the Islamic view of other sources of knowledge like science and philosophy and so on? So after we talk about the sources, we're going to look at what is the worldview that Muslims derive from these sources. How do Muslims see the world? What is the nature of man? Is there a God? Okay, and what is the nature of God? Why did he create humans? How do Muslims know what is right and what is wrong? And so we will look at these existential questions from an Islamic point of view. After we do that, if Muslims believe in this or have this worldview, now how this worldview is manifested in everyday life for Muslims. So do Muslims have a different way of life than non-Muslims? And if they do, in what areas? So we'll look at the Islamic way of life, and then we're going to look, okay, so we have this Islamic way of life. Can I just say this is copy-paste for every Muslim? Or do we have differences between Muslims? Is there Islamic diversity? And what is Islamic diversity? And we'll look also at the effect of culture in this series. And then we look at how Muslims should be viewing the other, whether the other is a Muslim, according to the Islamic diversity, or the other is basically a non-Muslim or a non-believer even. So how do Muslims view that under the Islamic worldview? And so we'll be looking at the ethics of diversity or the ethics of disagreement as well. So we start here with the introduction. So the introduction basically has 3 episodes. The first episode basically deals with the what. What is the meaning of some words? So what is Islam? I would like to talk about the word and what does it mean to be a Muslim, and also address is Islam a religion, and what does religion mean? So that is under words and meanings. In the second episode, I would like to talk about statistics, put out there some numbers, because we will be looking at the W's of who are the Muslims and where do they live, on the global stage. Where are they? So episode 3, we will be looking at the why. Why should I actually be looking at Muslims and look at Islam? What did Muslims contribute? So I'm going to focus on Islamic civilization. We will be looking at how in Western culture the contribution of other civilizations and cultures is usually ignored. The story goes from the Greek, Romans, Dark Ages, and jumping into Renaissance and Industrial Revolution without highlighting the contributions of what paved the way for the Renaissance and the Industrial Revolution. And in this case, we'll be only talking about Islamic contributions to world stage. So that is all for the introduction. So thank you very much for your interest in this course. And as I mentioned, if you have any comments or suggestions, please add them at the comments sections, and I'll be looking forward to having a look at that. Thank you again, and God bless.